right, good afternoon. Turning to the occupied Palestinian territory in Gaza, our humanitarian colleagues tell us that the situation continues to rapidly worsen. Intensified hostilities continue across the Strip, killing and injuring people and severely restraining the ability of humanitarian workers to provide life-saving support. As we mentioned earlier this week, since the ground operations commenced in Rafah on Sunday, several ambulances belonging to Palestinian Civil Defense as well as Palestinian Red Crescent were hit while trying to rescue wounded, and their crew became trapped in the area. Contacts with the teams was lost, but several casualties have been reported. Yesterday, an OCHA and Red Crescent team attempted to help extract casualties and recover the ambulances, but they are unable to reach the area. We've also received reports of a number of civilians still trapped due to the ongoing hostilities. And our colleagues are also attempting to organize safe passage for those civilians to be able to leave. OCHA reiterates that civilians must be protected under international law. Health workers, including first responders, should never be targeted. Civilians fleeing fighting must be allowed to do so safely, and they must be allowed to return voluntarily when the situation allows it. More people in Gaza are being forced to flee as the Israeli authorities issue more displacement orders. 2 new directives went out last night for the western parts of Gaza. The area under displacement orders now covers 18% of Gaza's territory. Those newly displaced urgently need life-saving support, including food, water, medicine, and obviously shelter. We and our partners are responding to people's deepening needs as the situation allows it, but the complete closure of the crossings for the entry of cargo, which includes humanitarian aid, coupled with ongoing hostilities, is making all of this increasingly challenging. Tens of thousands of tents and hundreds of thousands of shelter items are waiting to enter Gaza as the crossings remain fully shut. Many families forced to flee are unable to bring any of their belongings, further intensifying the shelter crisis. Dwindling shelter stocks in Gaza are completely insufficient to meet the immense needs. The World Food Program, for its part, warns that hundreds of thousands of people are again at risk of severe hunger and malnutrition as humanitarian stocks dwindle and crossings remain closed. Ongoing insecurity and severe restriction of movements are resulting in significant disruption of food assistance. With the deteriorating security situation, rapid displacement of people, and growing needs, WFP has decided to distribute as much food as possible, as quickly as possible. And they and their partners said they have more than 77,000 metric tons of food supplies outside Gaza ready to enter once the crossings reopen. Meanwhile, WHO warns that the health system in Gaza is in a free fall. Health partners report that essential medical supplies for managing mass casualty incidents need to be restocked due to a sharp increase in trauma cases and the severity of injuries. WHO says there are fewer than 500 units of blood available when 8,000 are needed every month. Anesthesia and vaccines are also running out. And turning to Haiti, our colleagues from the Office of Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs say humanitarian situation in Port-au-Prince metropolitan area continues to deteriorate as armed groups continue to enact violence. The extremely volatile security situation is also, of course, hindering the work of the humanitarian organizations, but we and our partners continue to do what we can to help people in need as security and funding permits. UNFPA, the UN Population Agency, reports that 2 safe spaces for women and girls remain open in the Port-au-Prince metropolitan area, and mobile teams to support gender-based violence victims are being deployed to displacement sites. However, activities have been reduced in area due to the ongoing violence. Last year, OCHA estimates that 3 million people received at least one form of humanitarian assistance out of 3.6 million we and our partners aimed to reach. This year's humanitarian response plan requires more than $900 million to support 3.9 million people. Almost half of them are women and children. Food security, protection, and water and sanitation are among the most pressing needs, but the current plan is financed only at 5%, or just $46 million.